Is this Red Dog Ranch, or what are we calling it?
We don't really have a name, but that's a good one. I like that one. It's always been our private track, never really kind of named it. Actually, Tabletop Farms is kind of the corporation.
How long has this been here? You know, the last time I was out here, I think you were still riding for Kawasaki.
Yeah, so with the track, I bought the land and built the track in '98, moved here in 2000, but it's obviously since you were here, well, even 3 years ago, we really did a big makeover. So it's always been kind of a work in progress. The first one, if I look back on it, it was great for its time in '98, but it really, today's standards are much higher. So we revamped it a bunch of times. Jason Baker's pretty much done. I take it back. Mark Barnett's built a supercross track for me. Jason Baker's with Dream Tracks has pretty much always done everything. We've had Brad from 402 Trails help with, I think it was 3 years ago with a redo, but Jason Baker's been mainly the one guy that's kind of been the mastermind behind all of it.
How'd you get into the coaching side?
I got into the coaching side through a practice bike mechanic that I had in '09 that later went to go work for Trey. And then Trey was interested in having me help coach him, so I flew out to Freestone when he had the National in 2010. Met him there, had dinner with his mom and watched him race, whatever. Never really watched him a lot, and from the time I quit at the end of '09, kind of didn't really even follow a lot what was going on until that, later in 2010. So that's how it kind of all started. Now it's become, a business and, kind of a little bit of a reward too, because now I can give back the knowledge that I had or experienced, coming through, kind of give back to them. The thing is different, I think what I do is it's all word of mouth, and, hey, this guy recommended this guy. I got, a new kid this year that's come down to live for 6 months and be down this way training. Highly recommended by Trey and Andrew Short. Spent some time with Andrew Short. So those are the kind of people that I want around. You always want to win, but at the end of the day, there's only one winner, in each class, and there's a lot of really good riders that need my help, or they need Villeman's help or Alden Baker's help or whoever it is, to kind of make them better. So that's something that's changed since I was in it. I kind of did a lot of it on my own in the beginning, but now the kids come in, they're really groomed, they're little mini pros, and that's why the speed is their speed is so good when they're in the lights program. There's an application for everybody, I feel like, and sometimes the big group at MTF might be good, or Matt Walker's may be good for somebody at a point in their their career or where they're at with racing or budget or whatever. So but mine's small because I'm kind of not really a huge people person. So like I get along great with people, but I think most of the riders, they kind of more isolated people, individual sport type people. So the smaller the group for me, honestly, the better. You get the better results too.
Obviously, we're missing Marty today because he's been hurt.
Yeah, actually, Martin. It's funny you say that. Martin came to me about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I believe, and so from the same practice bike mechanic that worked for him, Mark Russell. So he worked for Martin when Martin was at, I believe, Star, and then Mark Russell came to work for me, for a season and a half in Florida here. Loved it. Went back to work for Trey. So that's kind of just, it's a small industry, it's a small world, and remember Martin texted me, what is it going to take for me to come back there? I got to figure out my life. And so we finally had a phone conversation, not through text. And he came, he's been happy. He's won his first season here. He won 2 Supercrosses that matched what he had done his whole career before that. And I thought that was a huge success. Had some passport issues, or visa issues, I guess I could say. So he was winning the championship and didn't get to go to Toronto to race. So he did good on 450s outdoors, got some podiums, led some races, and so having a good rider always brings more people around. But he's been a pleasure. He takes a bad rap as far as being in a lights class and stuff, but the guy's a pro. He's really dedicated. He wants to win. Obviously that's why Mitch hired him again. So, but yeah, he's good. I mean, I want people that are around because my kids are around, and I want people that are going to be here around my kids to be good people. So,
kind of people that they can emulate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a 13-year-old that's watching everything that's going on, good or bad, and we've seen what bad environment can create for racers or families. So for him to see guys who work hard and are dedicated, they eat good, they take care of themselves, they train, they get good sleep. he's learning, maybe even more than just racing stuff. He's learning about being organized and working hard, which is, at the end of the day, a good racer works hard. They're timely, they're on time, they take care of themselves, they take care of the people around them. So we always try to keep those guys around as long as we can. And we got Mel Ross, who's here. I got Swole, who's he's an amateur, and I would say that are here all the time. It's a really small group, but we have a bunch of other ones that come in. They ride for a week. People that we know, our family hangs out with at amateur races that come and pop in. We have dinner with, things like that. So we got quite a few people that pop in for a week, especially around Daytona, Atlanta, Tampa time. It's crazy to me to see what is out there. People come here, they see it, and the work that goes into it. And I see what Alden Baker does with his place. It's amazing. Jason Baker has now, which was the Nest, now it's a Sandbox. These state-of-the-art facilities they're really, really cool. To me, I always wanted to have a kid. I grew up riding in a field, so I always wanted to have a track. So now I got a track.